It is Monday morning and I started taking the Manjaro weight loss injection on Thursday morning. So I've had 4 full days of effects, and yeah, onto the 5th day. And I thought it might be helpful for people to talk about the effects I've had, and also if there's been any side effects. Just a caveat, everyone's a bit different, so people are going to get different effects on Manjaro and also maybe different side effects as well. So this is my personal viewpoint of what I've done, and what I've felt. Obviously it is a prescription drug. Before you take your first injection, you've got your big old leaflet, you have a little read through and it explains what possible side effects there could be. The Manjaro, its main effect is that it is an appetite suppressant. It does that 2 ways. First, I think it slows down your digestion. So obviously you've got food in your stomach a bit longer and you feel fuller. Great. The other one is that it turns off food noise. So that kind of noise in your head, which is kind of saying, oh, you're probably going to eat some food now, or I'm hungry, or let's have a snack, or if you're bored, let's see, or you're stressed, let's see. It's switched that off. And I've been following a calorie controlled diet these past 4 days, and that's meant me tracking everything I eat on my Fitness Pal app and keeping under a set amount of calories. Again, the calories you choose depend on how much you want to lose a week, based on the My Fitness Pal app, and again it will depend on how heavy you are, or how light you are, depending on how many calories you can actually have, and it'll also change that based on your gender as well. So usually men get a little bit more on the calorie side of things. So the effects for me have been that I am fuller for longer, I'm not craving foods, and I weighed myself this morning and I'm £4 down from my starting weight of 5 days ago, and I'm well aware that a lot of that will be water weight and it's might not change. If it's still £4 at the end of the week, I'm happy. That's that's a good loss and something to keep me going. Now I'm not quite sure if this is a effect or a side effect, but I've not been having fizzy drinks. I would have Pepsi Max every day. I'd probably have a Monster, a sugar-free Monster can, but one of those big 500ml energy drinks, and I'd have those every day, probably hooked on them. And I once I took the injection, I didn't have any, and I haven't had any for these past 4 days. I went and did the weekly shop and didn't put any Pepsi Max in the basket or in the trolley, and I've been feeling fine about it. As I said, I'm kind of just really craving some water. People know that Manjaro helps you lose weight. You have a look, there's lots of videos about this, but it is a prescription medication, so you do have to think about those side effects. And for me, I've literally only had one side effect, and that's having a dry mouth, which, hey, it's actually making me want to drink more water, so that's really helping with the hydration. But I haven't had anything else. I've heard various other kind of side effects that people have had. On my last video, my first video, day 1, someone's recently commented saying that they kind of took it and it just really wasn't for them. It didn't help, and that's the case with medication. This is why just go through the proper processes. I got mine online, an online pharmacy, filled in all the details, made sure I was pretty honest about it. But even after all of that, you never know, it just might not be for you. So I was happy to give it a go. I had fingers crossed that Manjaro would be fine and I wouldn't get any side effects, and I haven't had any so far, apart from the dry mouth. And do you know what? I'll take that. It's not too bad. I went for a long run on Saturday morning, 90 minutes long it was, and do you know what? It was all right. I probably felt a little bit more fatigued by the end, but do you know what? I don't really think that's probably to do with the Manjaro. I think that's just probably to do with me on a calorie controlled diet and having, you know, less spare calories inside of me. So that's something to really consider. I'm up in my runs. They're going to be getting longer due to this training plan that I'm doing. So I've got to think properly about carb loading the day before, which do you know what, I just did it every day probably to do a carb load every day. Whereas actually, let's think about that. So the day before a long run, let's choose that meal. Obviously keep an eye on the calories, but know that I'm going to be expending a lot more energy the next day. So that's not going to be a major issue, and I really shouldn't get too hooked up on about it. So my run on Saturday was 1,300 calories, and yeah, it meant I could have a larger meal on Saturday night if I wanted to. I didn't really feel like it. I actually kind of forced myself to have a little bit more, because it's just not healthy to kind of lose 1,300 calories when you're only bringing in 1,700 calories on that day. So I took a little bit more in. I still had quite a few spare calories left, but it wasn't an issue. And yeah, I've been feeling fine. But yeah, for those runs, think about carb loading, think about all that hydration, maybe even take some gels with me, just in case I need a little bit of a lift. On my way back home now, up this big hill, so I'm going to end recording, but if you've got any questions, let me know, and I'm going to be back with a 1 week of being on Manjaro and how that's affected me and my running. So see you soon.